You're 16 years old, sitting in the back of an experimental spaceship because your brother-in-law let you tag along, and now you're on fire. Not on fire like a metaphor. On fire. Actual flames, head to toe, and they're not going out. 20 minutes ago, you were Johnny Storm. Hotshot kid, reckless driver, the kind of teenager who thought a joyride into space sounded fun. Cosmic radiation hit the ship. Your brother-in-law Reed stretches. Your sister Sue disappears. Ben turns to rock. You catch fire and don't stop burning. Everyone else got a power they can hide when they need to. You became a walking ignition source. Welcome to the rest of your life. Here's the part that should terrify you and somehow doesn't get talked about enough. You can't turn this off by choice. Not at first. The flame ignites involuntarily, triggered by stress, fear, adrenaline. The exact emotional states a 16-year-old is drowning in 24 hours a day. Panic and burst into flame. Cry and it gets worse. You are, quite literally, one bad day away from setting your own bedroom on fire. Eventually you learn control. Flame on. Simple phrase, huge burden. Because control means you now carry the full-time responsibility of a live weapon that used to be your body every single hour you're not actively using it. You want to know the detail that actually gets you? It's not the flying. It's not the fireballs. It's your sister. Sue's the closest person in the world to you. She basically raised you after your mother left and your father went to prison. And now, when you're flamed on, you cannot hug her. You cannot hold your niece's hand. If you flame on by instinct in a moment of panic and someone you love is standing too close, you can genuinely hurt them without meaning to. Reed can still shake your hand mid-transformation. Ben can still get a pat on the back. You are the only member of your own family who has to calculate, every time someone reaches for you, whether touching them is currently safe. Here's the cruelest design flaw in your power. It's the most visible one on the team. Reed's stretching is a party trick. Sue can literally disappear from a conversation. Ben's rock body is intimidating but static. People can look away. You are a human bonfire flying through the sky at Mach 2. You cannot be subtle. You cannot have a bad day in private. Every time you leave the house using your powers, you're a spectacle. And spectacles get watched, photographed, and judged. The tabloids decide you're the reckless one, the playboy, the kid who can't be serious. And it sticks. Because the only version of you the public ever sees is the one that's literally on fire, performing. You start to wonder if anyone would recognize the quiet version of you, the one that isn't burning. Now, here's where it gets genuinely dark. And this part isn't exaggeration for the video. This happened in the actual comics. There's a point where an army of alien parasites called the Negative Zone Swarm invades Earth, and the only way to permanently seal the breach is for someone to stay behind, alone, and hold the door shut forever. You volunteer. You know exactly what it means. You say goodbye to your family, and you die. On purpose, buying everyone else time to survive. You do not get resurrected in some quiet, comfortable way either. Your body is trapped for years, fighting off that alien swarm eternally, burning, alone, on the other side of a door your own family can't open, while everyone you love grieves a death that isn't fully finished. Most heroes get a clean death, or a clean resurrection. You get neither. You get an ongoing, unfinished nightmare that just keeps happening to you in the dark, unwitnessed, for years. When you do finally come back, you don't come back as the reckless kid anymore. You come back changed, quieter, harder, carrying an experience nobody else on the team can fully understand because none of them were the one trapped in that door. You try to build something new. You end up leading your own team of misfit heroes for a while, stepping fully out of Reed and Sue's shadow for what might be the first time in your entire life. And then, because the universe apparently isn't done with you, tragedy finds your new team too, and you lose people under your command. People who trusted you as their leader. You wanted to prove you could be more than the kid who catches fire. Instead, you learned that leadership means carrying losses that are now yours to carry alone. Here's the detail that should really sit with you. There's a real medical condition that mirrors your nightmare in an inverted way. It's called CIPA, congenital insensitivity to pain with anhidrosis. People born with it cannot sweat, and cannot regulate their body heat properly, which means something as ordinary as a hot summer day can genuinely put their life at risk of heat stroke. They live in a constant, quiet danger from heat that most people never even have to think about. You're not the only one whose relationship with fire and heat is life or death. Somewhere out there, right now, someone is monitoring the temperature of a room the same obsessive way you have to monitor your own body. Except they don't get super strength or the ability to fly out of it. Love doesn't come easy for you either. You fall for people outside your world. Alicia Masters among them, the same woman Ben loved, which becomes its own quiet wound between you and your best friend on the team. You fall for a literal alien princess, Crystal, whose entire royal family disapproves of you, whose home dimension you can barely breathe in, and whose politics end that relationship before it ever really had a chance. Every serious relationship you've tried to build gets complicated by exactly what you are. Too visible, too dangerous to get close to, too tied up in other people's lives to ever just be Johnny. Decades in, here's the twist nobody warns you about. The flame doesn't fade with age the way youth does. If anything, the responsibility gets heavier, not lighter. You watch your niece and nephew grow up around your power the way other kids grow up around a family dog. Normal to them, terrifying to everyone else. You become the fun uncle, who also happens to be a controlled explosion at all times. You never fully get to retire from being a weapon. There's no age where the flame politely turns itself off and lets you just be a person. So here you are, the kid who joined a joyride into space and came back a walking fire hazard. The brother who can't safely hug his own sister without thinking first. The face the tabloids turned into a punchline. The man who died holding a door shut in the dark for years, alone, so everyone else could live. The leader who lost people under his own command. The man who's fallen in love more than once and watched every version of it get complicated by exactly what he is. And yet, you keep flaming on. You keep showing up for the family that's watched you burn since you were 16 years old. You never fully get to put the fire out, and somewhere along the way, you stop needing to. Turns out, the flashiest power on the team was never really about being on fire. It was about being seen. Completely, uncomfortably, permanently seen. And choosing to keep showing up anyway. Not bad for a kid who just wanted to go for a ride.